Good morning, students. So yesterday, just we students we have discussed about good morning. So we have discussed about anomalous expansion of water. No. So is that have you written the notes for that anomalous expansion of water, students? Have you written the notes or not? For that, I think we have drawn two graphs: density temperature graph and volume temperature graph. Have you drawn that?
Yes, sir. Drawn, sir.
So I think we didn't, write anything regarding this anomalous expansion. No? So make a
No,
note. So note down that, make a anomalous expansion. So write it that when the temperature of water, when the temperature of water increases from 0 to 4 degrees centigrade, 0 to 4 degrees centigrade, 0 to 4 degrees centigrade. Instead
Sir,
of
repeat once more, sir.
can you
if the
repeat again?
temperature of if the temperature of water increases from 0 to 4 degrees centigrade, if the temperature of the water increases from 0 to 4 degrees centigrade, instead of expansion, water shows contraction. Instead of expansion, water shows contraction. Shows contraction. And if the temperature of the water decreases from, and if the temperature of the water decreases from 4 degrees centigrade to 0, 4 degrees centigrade to 0, 4 degrees centigrade to 0, water will expand. Water will expand. Water will expand. This unnatural behavior of water, this unnatural behavior of this water, unnatural behavior of the water, this unnatural behavior of the water between 0 to 4 degrees centigrade, between 0 to 4 degrees centigrade,
Sir, this behavior.
this unnatural behavior of water between 0 to 4 degrees centigrade. Between 0 to 4 degrees centigrade. Between 0 to 4 degrees centigrade is known as anomalous expansion. Is known as anomalous expansion. Is known as anomalous expansion. Okay. Anomalous expansion. So regarding that, for example, today I'll give one homework question. So at the time when we are leaving that, we will I'll give that question. So make a note of that one note. Make a note of that, guys, students. This anomalous expansion of water. This anomalous expansion of water helps a lot to aquatic animals. Helps a lot to aquatic animals. This anomalous expansion of water helps a lot to aquatic animals to survive their lives. To survive their lives. To survive their lives. Even if the atmosphere temperature drops to negative also. Even if the atmosphere temperature drops to negative, negative temperature also. Negative in the sense less than 0.
Sir, after aquatic animals.
Which one?
Sir, after aquatic animals.
Aquatic animals helps a lot to survive their lives. Helps a lot to survive their lives. To survive their lives. To survive their lives when the temperature of the atmosphere drops to negative or less than 0 degrees centigrade also. Less than 0 degrees centigrade also. Less than 0 degree centigrade. Yeah, clear? So next one thing is left. Keep subheading. Volume of the unoccupied part of the vessel. Volume of unoccupied part of the vessel. Volume of unoccupied part of the vessel. Next, this one. Volume of the unoccupied part of the vessel. So this is the liquid we have taken. Initially, liquid is what is our wish means. For example, I have a bucket. Till up to what height we need to fill the bucket with water so that I should not observe that either the level of the liquid has to be increases, the level of the liquid has to be decreases. Understand this one? This is a bucket. Initially it was empty. Our task is, my task is, I need to fill the bucket with water. Till up to what level I need to fill this bucket with water so that the unoccupied part volume should not changes even at any temperature. Even at any temperature, or else I should not notice either rise in either rise in level of the water or fall in level of the water at any temperature. If I heated, I should not observe either rise or fall of the water level. So to that, till up to what level I need to fill the water? That is my question. Understand that? Okay. Volume of the unoccupied part of the vessel. Volume of the unoccupied part means this one. Just like a vessel we have taken, just like a bucket. We can fill the bucket till up to its neck. Water can be filled up to till up to its neck. That's not the task. The task is what? Till up to what level we need to pour the water. We have to pour the water into the bucket so that under any temperature, if you are increasing the temperature, any temperature, I should not observe that either the level of the water rises or the level of the water has to be fallen. So in order to do that, till up to what height, either I need to fill half of the height, or I need to fill at 3/4 of the height, or I need to fill completely. So till up to what height or till what volume of the water I need to fill it. So that is about my question. Got it now? Okay, so then in this case, so when it will be possible means when it will be possible if the volume of this unoccupied part has to remain constant, it should not change means this level of the liquid should not rises, should not fall. If the level of the liquid is rises means this volume of unoccupied part of the vessel will decreases. If the level of the liquid is false means the unoccupied part of the vessel will increases. It should not be happened means when it should not be happened. So if the change in volume of the liquid is change in volume of the container. So therefore here we have taken a liquid whose coefficient of real expansion is gamma L, and VL is the volume of the liquid that we have filled. And this is a container whose coefficient of cubical expansion is gamma C or gamma G also you can write, no problem. So gamma C whose volume is V. Okay, Vc is the volume of the container. So this gamma C Vc stands for coefficient of cubical expansion of the material of the vessel and volume of the vessel. This gamma L and VL stands for real expansion, coefficient of real expansion of the liquid and volume of the liquid which we have filled in the liquid. We have filled in the this container. So to keep this unoccupied part volume constant, so when it will be constant, already we have discussed that the level of the liquid should not rises, should not fall. If the level of the liquid is rises means, for example, if the level is brought up, then what will be happen? The volume of this unoccupied part is decreases. If the level of the liquid is decreases means then what is happening? The unoccupied part volume is increasing. It should not be happen means the level of the liquid has to be constant for all range of temperature. Whatever the if you are heated to whatever the temperature if you are heated. If the level of the liquid is does not rising and does not falling means then only the volume of this unoccupied part remains constant. So when it will be happening means yesterday we have seen that when it will be happen. So if the container and vessel both are expanding in equal rates, so the change in volume of the container is equal to the change in volume of the liquid, then only the volume of this unoccupied remains constant and level of the liquid should not change, should not neither increases nor decreases. Hence, what can I write? Delta V of container that's equals to delta V of L. So delta V means already we know that delta V by V into delta T is equal to, we can write gamma. So then delta V is equals to V gamma into delta T. So therefore for container means what is the V volume of the container is Vc, and gamma means container is having cubical coefficient of expansion gamma C. Temperature difference means let it be delta theta. Okay. So that is equals to delta V means change in volume of the liquid means similarly here. So initially volume of the liquid is VL and coefficient of real expansion coefficient that is gamma L and delta theta. So because the change in temperature of the liquid and vessel both are same because they are heated at same time. They are not heated at separate time and we are not producing any separate heat to the heat to the vessel and separate heat to the liquid. So they are combinedly heating means the rise in temperature is same across the liquid and the vessel. This delta theta gets cancelled. So from this one VL into okay. So gamma L that's equals to Vc into gamma C. So that implies volume of the liquid that we need to fill VL that's equals to Vc into gamma C divided by gamma L. So this is the volume of the liquid which we need to fill in the vessel of volume Vc. To have this unoccupied part volume is constant or to have the level of the liquid is constant at particular level at any increase of temperature. Got it? Got it, students?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so make a note of this till up to here. Let let and write like this. VC comma gamma C R VC comma gamma C R volume comma cubical expansion coefficient of the vessel. Volume comma cubical expansion coefficient of the vessel
Sir, repeat.
let VC comma gamma CM VC comma gamma C R VC comma gamma C R like this VC comma gamma C R volume comma cubical expansion coefficient of a vessel of a vessel and VL comma gamma L VL comma gamma L are the volume of liquid and coefficient of real expansion of liquid are the volume of the liquid and coefficient of cubical expansion of the liquid volume of the liquid and coefficient of cubical expansion of the liquid. Okay, so then draw this diagram. Okay, na? So right, next point. If the volume of unoccupied part of the vessel remains constant, if the volume of unoccupied part of the vessel remains constant, if the volume of unoccupied part of the vessel remains constant for all temperatures, for all temperature, for all temperature, for all temperature, the vessel and liquid has to expand
For
in
all
equal.
temperatures. After that, sir. For all temperature.
For all temperature, the vessel comma liquid, the vessel comma liquid or the vessel and liquid has to expand, has to expand, okay, has to expand at equal manner, okay, at equal manner. Then you can write here. Change in volume of vessel is equals to change in volume of liquid. Okay, till here you can write. This is the fraction of the volume. Okay. Till up to what fraction the liquid has to be filled means either 1/4 of the volume or 3/4 of the volume of the vessel or half of the volume of the vessel has to be filled. That can be identified by this relation. The fraction of the volume of the liquid in the vessel is VL by VC, that is equals to gamma C by gamma N. So with this, the expansion of the liquids is completed. Okay, only expansion of gases is there. If the expansion of gases is finished, then the whole thermal expansion of the materials are completed. Only heat transfer is there. For both the point of view, this year, okay, this year we need not to go through heat transfer, but NTA has, I think 2 days back, there is one note was released from National Testing Authority. So there will be no change in syllabus for NEET and JEE. Okay, so the reduced syllabus is only for board. So that's why for the competitive point of view, even though if you are not preparing those topics to the board preparation also, the PUC board, we have to focus on those topics for the competitive preparation, such as JEE and NEET. That's why generally thermal properties of matter means the heat transfer is not at all. They have just removed from this that some 30% syllabus is removed. No, that's why. So it is not there, but. JEE mains and NEET. Okay, there is no change in syllabus. Your seniors written on what syllabus you are also going to return, and similarly that. Okay, so that's why we have to discuss those topics like heat transfer in objective mode. Okay, so if that completed, then thermal properties of matter is going to be finished. So then after that we may go with as per the track next. Got it? So expansion of gases is left. Mostly within 2-3 classes we will finish that expansion of gases. So till then, I think yesterday I asked to have this book tomorrow. No? So now let us see few problems on expansion of solids. Got it, students?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So go to the page number first. First solve. Let us solve a few problems on level 1. Then we can go for level 2. Page number 1004. 1004. Page number 1004. Expansion of the solids. Is there no expansion of the solids? Yeah. Okay. So first question, see that first question only. First, already I told that while going to the objective, student has to understand the question efficiently rather than the solution. Okay. Until to understand the question, read the question completely once or twice or until to understand that. Okay. So just go through the question. So students, while we are going through the question, you should get the picture of the question while reading. So that type of visualization, develop that visualization, then the subject will be very easy. Okay. Visualization, I think you know that how to develop the visualization, right? Understand? So simple, for example, here I wrote the word mango. As the picture of that fruit is has came to a vision or not, but here there is no mangoes like that. While how you are, while going through the word mango, how you got the picture of that mango, the shape of that fruit, to color of that fruit, to like that. Similarly, while going through the question also, you should get the picture of that question to your vision. Then that question can be very easily understand. How strong you can understand the question, solution is that much easy. So like that, please develop the visualization. So let me read the question then. A man wishes to fit an aluminium ring on a steel rod of 1 centimeter diameter and found it is 0.001 centimeter smaller in diameter 0.001 centimeter smaller in diameter. How much should the temperature to be raised before just slips? So therefore, this is the uh, iron and aluminum ring is there, whose ring diameter is 1 centimeter. It is found that it is less than 0.001 centimeter smaller in diameter of the just to fit an aluminum ring on a steel rod. Aluminum ring on a steel rod. Okay, so right. So this is the aluminum ring. Okay, let me write this. This is the steel rod. Steel rod. This is aluminum ring, whose radius, let us say, some r1, and whose radius is nothing but, let us say, small r. So this diameter of the ring is how much less than this diameter of the steel rod? 0.001 centimeter. To what temperature this ring? To what temperature this ring has to be heated? This ring has to be heated to what temperature? So to fit this aluminum ring onto the steel rod means if the ring temperature is heated until its diameter delta D, we are going to get 0.001 centimeter. Then it is possible to fit this aluminum ring onto this steel rod, just like a finger. Okay, we are how we can adjust the ring to a finger means in similar manner. Here the aluminum ring is going to adjust with the steel rod. The steel rod diameter is bit more than this aluminum ring. So how much bit more than that? Steel rod diameter is 0.001 centimeter more than this aluminum ring, or this aluminum ring diameter is smaller than the steel rod, whose diameter is 0.001 smaller than this one. So in order to fit this aluminum ring onto the steel rod, so then what will be happened? So first thing is either we need to increase the temperature of the ring in order to expand. When it is expanded, what will be happened? Already I told that whenever the solid is heated means the distance between these two atoms on the periphery of the ring has to be increases. So when the distance between the two atoms is increasing, means what is the circumference of the ring? Circumference of the ring will increases. When circumference is increasing means automatically diameter is also gets increases. That is one way. Second one is either we need to decrease the temperature of this steel rod. If the steel rod's temperature decreases means the steel rod gets compressed. The distance between the two atoms in the material of the steel is decreases. Thereby the size of the steel rod is also decreases. But they're asking what is the rising temperature means we are going to calculate the rising temperature of the aluminum ring. So therefore, so finally we got this equation. So delta L is equals to L alpha into delta theta only. No? Okay. So let me this one. Okay. Understand the question, students, first.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so let us solve this one. Okay, let us solve this one. So this is an aluminum ring at theta 1 degree. When the temperature is increases, now the radius has become R2 at theta 2 degree. What is the length of this aluminum ring? Means L1 equal, I can write 2 pi R1 its circumference. And here L2 is equal, I can write 2 pi into R2 I can write. So therefore, according to this coefficient of expansion, delta L equals to L alpha into delta theta. Delta L means I can write L2 minus L1, that's equals to L1 alpha into delta theta. L2 minus L1 means 2 pi of R2 minus R1 is equals to 2 pi r1 alpha into delta. This 2 pi gets cancelled. What is this? R2 minus R1 stands for change in radius only. So then I can write delta R, that's equals to R1 alpha into delta theta. So then how can I write the radius into diameter? Means we know the radius R, that's equal to 2 into diameter. Got it, all of you? So then this delta R can be written as 2 into delta D is equals to this R1 can be written as 2 into
Sir,
D1.
radius equal
D1
to
stands
diameter by 2, sir.
radius R equals to D by 2. So then here this delta R can be written as delta D by 2. Change in radius is nothing but half of the change in diameter. That's equals to R1 means D1 by 2 alpha into delta theta. This gets cancelled. So therefore they have given that the change in diameter is 0.001 centimeter. Initially diameter D1 that's equals to 1 centimeter. So substituting this value 0.00 001, anyway it is in centimeter and here also in centimeter, both units gets cancelled. The value of alpha value for aluminium.
25 into 10 power minus 6.
So 25 into 10 to the power of minus 6 into delta theta. So then I can write this 10 power minus 3, that's equals to 25 into 10 power minus 6 into delta theta. So this can be written as what? So hence if you are taking this 10 power minus 3 minus 6 mean here 10 power minus 3 will be left. Therefore delta theta equal to 1 by 25 into 10 power minus 3. So then we can write delta theta that's equals to 10 power 3 divided by 25. So therefore delta theta equals to 10 power 3 means I can write 1000. No? So 1000 by 25 means 40 degrees. So that implies 1000 divided by 25. That implies the rising temperature delta theta equal to 40 degree. Either in Celsius scale is also 40 degrees raise or in Kelvin scale also it is 40 degrees raise.
Sir, initial
Like this.
diameter is 0.999, no, sir.
They told 1 meter, no?
Sir, no, sir, that is diameter of steel. Initial diameter of aluminum means we should subtract, no, sir.
Wait. Page number. Yeah. So no. That is 1 centimeter. If you are continuously read that a man wishes to fit an aluminium ring on steel rod of 1 centimeter diameter and found it is 0.001 centimeter smaller in diameter means just here it has to he has to fit this aluminium ring on steel rod whose diameter is 1 centimeter. It
Sir, we
means
have to
that
make L2 equal to 1 centimeter diameter, no, sir.
that is no. That is whose diameter is 1 centimeter, which is 0.001 smaller centimeter smaller than steel rod means steel rod diameter initially 1.001 centimeter. That is meaning of that.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so right. So copy this one. length is nothing but circumference. Here also length is nothing but circumference. That's why I wrote to 2 pi r1, 2 pi rt. Therefore, delta L based on this, and what is the difference between, I mean, the relation between radius and diameter? Radius will be half of the diameter. There we can use this. Got it? The next second one, let us see. Then after that, two problems you can solve it. The second one, make it fast. And at least level 1 we have to finish it today. Okay, expansion of solids. Make it fast. Is this finished? Anything else, guys, regarding this problem? Students. Is it completed or anything else regarding this problem? Problem number 1. Any further clarification do you need?
Sir, wait a minute, sir. I'll copy.
Yeah. Okay, now. So those who are finished will just go through the second question then. Second question. What is that second question now? The length of the metal rod at 20 degrees centigrade is 1 meter. When the temperature is increased to 50 degrees centigrade, its expansion is 1 millimeter. In order to reduce its length by 1 millimeter, what should be what temperature it has to be cooled? So that's the question. This problem can be solved in two cases. Finished?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yes. So second question, fine. Okay, see carefully. Second question. So there is a rod is there, a metal rod. We don't know what metal it is. Okay, so this is the metal rod of length. Initial length L1 is equals to 1 meter. At what temperature? Theta 1, that is equals to 20 degrees centigrade. So first it was under expansion. Okay, so the length was they have given that the length is increased by the temperature is at 50 degrees centigrade. The expansion is 1 millimeter. So then at a temperature theta 2, the change in length is observed as delta L equals to 1 millimeter. In order to have the same contraction, then at what temperature it is possible? They are asking that. So let us see this one. Initially length L1 equal to 1 meter and theta 2 is equal to 50 degrees. Then from the relation delta L equals to L alpha into delta theta. Delta L equal to 1 millimeter means 1 into 10 power minus 3. Okay, so that's equals to L initial length, that's equals to 1 meter. Alpha value we don't know. Temperature difference means here temperature is 50 degrees, there initially 20 means temperature difference is nothing but 30 degrees. So then we can write alpha, that's equals to 10 power minus 3 divided by 30, or else alpha, that's equals to 10 power minus 4 by 3 for a degree centigrade. Let it be alpha. Alpha value we got it from this one. So next, so in case of compression, this is the expansion case. In case of compression, theta 2 is equals to how much? So here the length is shortened by 1 millimeter means delta L, that's equals to minus 1 millimeter. Why I have taken minus 1 here? Why I have taken plus 1 here? Delta L means here the length is increased, change in length is positive. That's why to convey that I have taken plus here. But here length is decreasing means the rod length is decreasing. The change in length is negative. To convey that I have taken negative values. Okay, so therefore from this relation, what can I write? Delta L that's equals to L alpha into delta theta. So delta L means minus 1 into 10 power minus 3. That's equals to L means 1. Alpha value just now we got no material. Material is having a coefficient of expansion alpha that is constant. So then substitute that value 10 power minus 4 by 3 into delta theta. So therefore delta theta is equals to what can I write it? So delta theta so calculate this value.
Sir, minus 10 degrees Celsius.
Yeah. So that's it, fine. Understood this problem? So here why we have used this expansion means we don't know the alpha of this material. By using the given data, we have calculated the material linear coefficient of expansion of the material alpha, and that alpha is used in the case of compression. Then we can get theta 2 is equals to, finally we got minus 10 degrees centigrade. So it will be happened at minus 10 degrees centigrade. The same change in length will be happened at minus 10 degrees centigrade, where we got the same change in length at 50 degrees centigrade. Here expansion, there it is compression. So then after that, so fifth one, let us see fifth one. Fifth one, sixth one. Okay, let us see. Finished now? So next fifth one, have a look on that fifth one. Is it finished, all of you students?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so then after that, go for the question number 5. On heating the block, its volume is increased by 0.3% for a rise of 100 degrees centigrade in its temperature. The coefficient of areal expansion of the metal is, okay, so its volume is increases by 0.3%. So it means that what the volume is increases means delta V that's equals to 0.3% of the initial volume. So hence I can write delta V that's equal to 0.3 means 0.3 by 100 V, then I can write. This is that they have given that. The volume is increases by 0.3% of the original volume is 0.2% of this volume. So then 0.3 means 0.3 by 100%. So till at what temperature they have used, this is delta theta value 100 degrees centigrade. The temperature is raised by 100 degrees centigrade. Then they are asking beta is equals to how much? That's the question they are asking. First, if you know gamma, then automatically beta can be easily known by gamma. We know the relation between beta and gamma.
Beta is equal to 2 gamma by 3.
Yeah, the same thing. So then to calculate the gamma value, what is the formula? Gamma equals to delta V by V into delta theta. So then I can write gamma is equal to delta V means 0.3 by V by 100 divided by V into again 100. So then gamma is equal to, I can write 0.3 V by V into 100 into 100 means I can write 10 power 4. This V gets cancelled. Gamma is equals to 0.3 into 10 power minus 4. This can be written as gamma is equal to 3 into 10 power minus 4 per degree centigrade. Gamma value we got, so then beta is equals to what can I write? Beta equal to 3 by 2 into, sorry,
2 gamma by 3.
beta is equals to 3 by 2 into gamma only, no?
Sir, 2 gamma by 3, sir.
Yes. 2, yes. 2 by 3. So then substituting this value, the value of beta equals to 2 divided by 3 of 3 into 10 power minus 4 per degree centigrade. This 3 gets cancelled. Then beta is equals to 2 into 10 power minus 4 per degree centigrade. So just like what they have given using that. So on heating the block, its volume is increases by 0.3%, means the change in volume is 0.3% of the original volume, like this. 0.3% means 0.3 by 100, I can do like this. And for a range of temperature 100 degrees, the rising temperature is 100 degrees. So they only the rise of 100-degree temperature. The coefficient of aerial expansion means they are asking beta value, not gamma. So how to calculate beta means beta cannot be calculated directly by using this data. That's why we have calculated gamma. Thereafter we know that how to transform beta from gamma by using this relation. That's it.
2 into 10 to the power minus 5, sir.
10 power minus 5, I mean 0.26.
There I have taken
10 power minus 5.
Instead of writing this side of, yeah. Yes. Those who are finished will go to the 6th question. Already we have done this model. So
Gamma
based
equals
on
alpha x plus alpha y plus alpha z.
gamma equal to alpha, yeah, same thing. Yeah, so do it same thing. Then same thing, alpha x plus alpha y plus alpha z. But here alpha x is this one, and alpha y and z values are same. Sixth one, no? So just go through the question number 6. Finished, students? Don't write this. This is related
Yes, sir.
to. Make it fast.
Written, sir.
Yeah. So sixth one. See that sixth one. No? After that, a crystal has a coefficient of linear expansion 10 into 10 power minus 7 in one direction, and 220 into 10 power minus 7 in every direction right angle to it. In every direction right angle to it, the coefficient of cubical expansion. Already we have done this. So for example, if you take a cuboid shape object, so to take the cuboid shape object, like this. So for example, this is an x-axis, this is the y-axis, this is the z-axis. If I take the z-axis, y and x are perpendicular to the z direction, as you know that one. If I take the x-axis, that is y and z are perpendicular to x. Similarly, if I take y, means this x and z are perpendicular to this direction. So what the problem they have given that, for example, in this direction, say alpha 1, that is equals to, they have given the value 10 into 10 to the power of minus 7 per degree centigrade. And every direction perpendicular to this will be 2 into 10 to the power of 220 into 10 power minus 7, means perpendicular to this direction along this side. alpha 2, that's equal to 220 into 10 to the power of minus 7 per degree centigrade, and perpendicular to this direction, this is also alpha 2, that's equals to 220 into 10 to the power of minus 7 per degree centigrade. Then they're asking that what is the cubical expansion coefficient of gamma. So earlier we wrote that gamma is equals to alpha x plus alpha y plus alpha z. Have you written now this one? I told you as a note. So therefore, if isotropic expansion means alpha x equal to alpha y, that's equal to alpha z, means I can write gamma is equal to 3 alpha there in case of isotropic expansion. If the object is expanded uniformly in every direction, then I can write like this. But it is a complicated substance, which a substance do not expand or do not compress uniformly in all directions. So in this per direction, it will expanded at this rate. In this direction and this direction, it will be expanded at this rate. Means I can write gamma is equals to alpha x means alpha 1. Alpha y and alpha z are perpendicular to alpha x according to given data. So the expansion will be same, which is perpendicular to alpha x. So hence here alpha 2, here alpha 2 means I can write alpha 2 plus alpha 2. So therefore gamma equal to alpha 1 plus 2 alpha 2. So that implies alpha 1 means 10 into 10 to the power of minus 7 plus 2 into alpha 2 means alpha 2 is equals to, we got 220 into 10 to the power of minus 7. So then I can write gamma equals to 10 plus 220 into 2 means 440 into 10 to the power of minus 7. So that implies gamma equals to 450 into 10 to the power of minus 7 per degree centigrade, or still we can further simplify that. Understand this problem? Same thing, one note we have told now at the end of the expansion of solid, we have used the same thing. Got it, Amma? Students?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I think the answer is in terms of 45, no? Then we can write 45 into 10 to the power of minus 6 per degree centigrade.
Sir,
Hmm.
sir, in train problems, what is gap between rails, sir?
Which problem?
Sir, while solving train problems, what is that gap between rails, sir?
That is, if the gap is allowed, then the railway track, that iron track can expand. If it is not, means the track will buckle. That's why a small gap is left between the two rails in order to expand them in the summer season to avoid the thermal stress. So if the thermal stress is generated, then what will be happen automatically? So generally the track will be like this, no? Isn't it or not? The track will be like this. So here a small gap is left like this. Why this small gap is left means when the temperature is increased, this rail can expand and this rail can expand, the gap may fill. Otherwise, in winter season, so here one small material like which of the material like this, they may keep that linements, they keep this small material. So for example, if this gap is not left, means in winter, I mean summer season, what will be happen means the temperature is increases. Now you know that what is the temperature of the atmosphere during the summer. On such cases, temperature is increases. The temperature of these rails are also increases. If the gap is left, they can expand freely in this gap. Then no problem, it will be straight. So if this gap is not left, means then what will be happen? Stress will be generated because of the stress. The rails may bend. Okay, it is deviated from like this, like this. So is it possible to go safe on this rail train? So that's why the small gap is, yeah, the small gap is left between the two rails, okay, to allow them in expansion of those during the summer time. Clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Next question. See that next question, seventh one. Almost time up. Seventh one. Let us see. A thin metal wire of length L increases in length by 0.1% on heating the temperature from theta1 to theta2. If the plate of same material is heated from theta1 to theta2, which of dimensions 2L and 2L, 3L, 2L into 3L, the percentage increase in its area is, they are asking that. Okay. So they are asking that the percentage increase in area. So then how to calculate this means, so what they have given that, the percentage means delta L by L into 100, that is equals to, sorry, delta L by L, that's equals to, we can write where it is 0.1%. 0.1% means what can I write? Delta L by L, that's equals to 0.1 by 100. Then they are asking delta A by A is equals to how much? This is the question they are asking. Here this rod and this metal plate both are made up of with the same material. Both are made up of the same material. And from the relation, what can I write? Alpha, that's equals to delta L by L into delta theta. So therefore, delta L by L, that's equals to alpha into delta theta. Similarly, here what can I write? Similarly, beta is equals to delta A by A into delta theta. So that implies here delta A by A is equal, what can I write? Delta A by A equals to, what can I write? Beta into delta theta. So but beta can be written as what? Beta can be written as 2 alpha. So then delta A by A, that's equals to 2 alpha into delta theta. But alpha value we got it what? Alpha is equals to delta L by L of delta theta. Substitute that value. Delta A by A, that's equals to 2 into alpha means delta L by L of delta theta into delta theta. So then in this case and in this case, temperature is raised from theta1 to theta2. The rising temperature is same, that we get cancelled. So then delta A by A, that's equals to 2 into delta L by L. So then delta A by A is equals to 2 into the percentage change in length is 0.1%, means I can write here 0.1%. So then 2 into 0.1% means then delta A by A, that's equals to 0.2%. Change in area will be 0.2%. Got it? Simple what they have given, they have given that percentage change in length of the material of the rod. What will be the corresponding change in the material of the area of the plate which are made up of the same material as that of the rod? So alpha value we know that they have given delta L by L and alpha equal to this, and beta value also we know the definition. They are change fractional change in area per degree raise of temperature. Delta A by A, that's equals to beta into delta theta. So beta equal to, we know that 2 alpha, substituted that alpha value with proper calculation we got this. And this delta L by L equal to 0.1%. In the problem itself they have given then delta A by A equals to 0.2%. So got it, students?
Yes, sir.
So they have given the dimension and real, sir.
They are given.
Dimensions 2L and 3L, sir.
Of course, Amma, already I told no. Beta and alpha value does not depend upon the dimensions of an object. They will depend upon the nature of the material. That's why this rod material and this area plate material both are same. No? That's why I wrote beta equal to alpha. So some unnecessary unwanted data is given to confuse the student, but here the area of the plate is not required as the rod and plate both are made up of the same material. No?
Sir, delta equals to beta equals to alpha when all are same dimension, no, sir. You told us already.
All the same material only, no? Have they are
Sir,
not, yeah, it will be expand uniformly then only.
Okay.
Okay, no? So if they have mentioned in the question number 6, it will be expand in different direction. There you can take different values. But here in the question number 7, they didn't mention such type of expansion means that metal is expanded at a uniform rate. That's why we can consider this beta equal to alpha. Anything else?
No, sir.
So that's enough. So students for today. So tomorrow, the next class, we'll see the remaining. So practice the problems on thermometry and calorimetry. Already we have solved few problems on calorimetry and few will left for a practice. Thermometry and calorimetry, you practice those questions for the objective examination. Okay. So I don't think so. Solids question from the solid will be there for this weekend. It will be there for next weekend. So to this weekend you can focus especially for objective. You can focus on thermometry and calorimetry. Okay. Practice the numericals from your material on thermometry and calorimetry for the objective NEET and NEET examination. Okay. So anything else?
No, sir.
Students? Yeah. So see you on next class.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Right, Amma, bye.